Derby County's fixtures are due to be released in just 5 minutes time. Who do you want on the opening day? Let me know down in the comments. Obviously you'll know who the fixtures are already, so if you don't want to, just let me know your thoughts on the comments down below. Now, I'd love to have like Plymouth Argyle or Leeds at home on the opening day. Obviously, throughout pre-season at the moment, we do not have a home fixture. So it's going to be really interesting to see whether we are starting the season at home. Obviously, I believe the club knows the fixtures a little bit earlier than we do. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that one does play out. It'd be really nice to have that opening day at Pride Park, the return to the Championship at Pride Park Stadium. So I'm going with Plymouth Argyle at home. I think we're going to play Middlesbrough maybe as the first away game of the season, and then I think that we're probably going to play Leeds over Christmas. I think that's just a game that suits the Christmas period with the rivalry, since obviously the Lampard situation and things like that. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that one does play out, if it is going to be Leeds over Christmas. During Easter, who do I think we're going to play? I think around that period, I think we'll probably play Portsmouth maybe. I think that would be a really good game for the Easter period. I think we played them around a similar time this year. And then to end the season, if I'm honest with you, I'm expecting an away game, because we've been at home last 2 of the last 3 seasons. We've been at home to end the campaign. So I'm probably going to go with an away game, maybe with Blackburn Rovers away at the end of this season. But we're now going to wait up till the fixtures are announced. So if you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts on the fixtures in the comment section. And let's wait until the fixtures are out. So the fixtures have just been dropped. I've not yet looked at them, but shall we now make a move over to Twitter to click on this fixture list? So as you can see, here is the tweet. Let's go on to it now. Let's take a goose's ganders at this then, shall we? And obviously the fixtures were released at 9 AM. Let's take a look at what is going off. So how does the campaign start? Now, we start the season with an away trip live on Sky on Friday, the 9th of August, with an 8 PM kickoff to former Derby County player John Eustace as Blackburn Rovers. Now, I predicted that we'd play them on the final day of the season away from home, but what a good fixture to start the season. The fact it's on Sky is really, really good as well. We can keep up to date with that. We can watch it all live. Now, we then have our first home fixture, and who is that against? It's none other than Middlesbrough. Now, we all know the bitter rivalry off the pitch between Derby and Middlesbrough as a result of their owners' actions during our administration period, and for just the situation around it, the way their fans treated us during our administration and things like that. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that one does play out, especially with it being our first home game back in the Championship. I'm really excited to see how that one goes. We then also play Watford and Bristol City. We have a trip up to Watford, and then we have a home fixture against Bristol City to close out August. Now, I'd be very, very happy if we end that month with 5 or 6 points. I think that would be a mega points tally to open up the season. Obviously, Watford, a really good side. Bristol City coming to Derby County. It's going to be the first time Jason Knight, Max Bird, Hayden Roberts all returned to the club. So that'll be really interesting to see. Obviously, Middlesbrough, we know the situation there. And Blackburn on the open day with John Eustace. We saw what he did at Birmingham, got them up to the playoffs, then was really unfairly sacked. So for me, I think he could do a really good job at Blackburn Rovers. It's going to be really interesting to see, obviously, how this season plays out. Obviously, we've not even yet hit pre-season. The kit comes out, I believe it's tomorrow or Friday, so that's going to be really interesting to see. So shall we just have a little look through this article to see what the other games are like, what the other fixtures are like. I will have on the ticker down below a load of random fixtures that I've pinpointed. Now, who do Derby County play over Christmas? It starts with a trip to Luton Town on the 21st of December. That's going to be a really interesting game. Going to Kenilworth Road in December, that could be a very, very interesting game. It's going to be really difficult to get tickets for that one. Then back-to-back home fixtures to end 2024. I love it having those home games around that period. I think it can have a massive effect on your season, what happens across this 4-game period. Now, I know it's 4 games, it's only 12 points, but imagine you're in the relegation zone, you win 3 out of those 4, you could probably put distance between yourself. Imagine you're in that battle for promotion, you win 4 out of 4, like, you keep yourself well in the hunt. So it's really interesting to see that we face West Brom and Leeds United. I think I predicted earlier that we'd play Leeds United in that Christmas period. I did think we'd play away from home, but I'm not opposed to a home game. We then obviously take that short journey from up the M1 to Hillsborough, where we play Sheffield Wednesday on the 1st of January. That, for me, is an excellent start to the new year. Obviously, Sheffield Wednesday got promoted the season before us, and they were the reason why we did not get into the playoffs in that 22-23 season. Obviously, on the final day of the season, the Curtis Davis red card, they then went on to win the game, and obviously results elsewhere did not go our way, and it really put us in a very, very bad situation. So what other fixtures does it have on here to look at? So in Easter, who do we play? We play Luton Town at home. I think I said I'd like to play Middlesbrough, Pompey around this time. So having that home fixture against Luton is going to be very interesting on the 18th of April. And then West Brom on the 21st at the Hawthorns. That will be a very interesting game. Find it really interesting that we've got some of the big teams around these interesting periods. Obviously, we've got West Brom, Leeds and Luton around Christmas. We've then got West Brom and Luton again around Easter. So that's going to be very, very interesting. But how does this season end? So we end the season on home territory for the 3rd time in 4 years, facing Stoke City on the 3rd of May. Our final away game of the season is at the Kassam Stadium versus Hull City on the 26th of April. There's 4 weekends in this upcoming season where Derby County won't be in action as a result of international duty. Those dates are on screen now, but I'll talk you through them. The 7th and 8th of September, the 12th and 13th of October, 16th and 17th of November, and March 22nd and 23rd in 2025. So what are your initial thoughts on this season and how it's looking so far? I'm really excited to see that start to the season. I think there's 4 games at the start, and I do think we can pick up some good points. Obviously, we've not yet really even got a squad we have a base 11, but it's not the 11 that we'll be starting with on the opening day, in my opinion. There's lots and lots of work for Paul Warne and Derby County to do. Shall we go and take a look at month by month each fixture? We will do a proper sort of rundown preview of each month as the season goes on, so make sure you do hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for that. Now let's just go and find the full fixture list. So if we go to fixtures and results, obviously if you didn't see, we've added Shrewsbury Town and Barnsley onto our pre-season schedule. That's going to be very interesting. We don't have a home game, which is really interesting to me that we don't have a home game. Obviously, you know the August fixtures, Blackburn, Middlesbrough, Watford and Bristol. Let's now look into September, where we face Cardiff City at home. Is Ibu Adams going to be back at Derby for that? That's a question a lot of people have. Sheffield United, Jayden Bogle coming back to face Derby County. That's going to be interesting. Obviously, he has played against Derby County before. We then end September versus Norwich, which will be interesting. Very interesting game. Paul Warne's favourite club, I believe. He's mentioned it loads of times in presses. We start October away at Sunderland on a Tuesday night. That's going to be a long trek for the team. We then face Queen's Park Rangers at home, Millwall away, Oxford away, the first of the promoted sides that we play, I believe. We then face Hull City at home, which, if Liam Rosenior was still there, would be a very, very interesting fixture, but he isn't. So it's one of those where I'm not really too fussed. We then face Stoke City away to start off November, head to Coventry midweek, Plymouth Argyle at home on the 9th of November. That's going to be a really interesting one. If Wayne Rooney still has his job in November, that's going to be Wayne Rooney's return to Pride Park. I'm really intrigued to see what reception he gets, because I do think he did a fairly decent job for Derby County, and I understand people's points and opinions about the Chris Kirshner situation, but I don't necessarily think that was Rooney's fault. I don't think he knew anything about Kirshner. I think that's more his agent where you should have that problem, or was it Gary Cook who sort of tried to broker the deal? So for me, it's one of those. Obviously, we then head to Preston North End. We face Swansea at home in midweek, Sheffield Wednesday at the end of November. We go into December, we face Leeds at the start and at the end of the month, so that's going to be really interesting. Face Burnley in the middle of that before facing Portsmouth. Obviously, we know these fixtures of Luton Town, West Brom and Leeds United. If we then move over to January, obviously we start it against Sheffield Wednesday. Bristol City versus Derby, another interesting game because of obviously the Max Bird links and Jason Knight and things like that. We then have Watford, Sunderland and Cardiff City. I'm not sure how I feel about the Sunderland games both being on Tuesday night. It makes it very difficult for travelling fans, obviously. Now, if we do look into February, Sheffield United at home on the 1st of February, Norwich away, Oxford at home in February, QPR away and Millwall at home. That's going to be a very, very interesting month. We head into March, Middlesbrough away to start off March, Blackburn at home, Coventry at home, Plymouth away at Home Park. I'm glad that's a Saturday because that is a bit of a trek for those away travelling fans. We then obviously have Derby County facing Preston North End to end out the month of March. Looking into April, we end the season, and I think it's quite a difficult end to the season. I think you've got Swansea, Burnley, Portsmouth, Luton and West Bromwich Albion and even Hull City to end out that month. I think Burnley is going to be very tough. I think Pompey is going to be a tough game, and Luton. Like, all of these games are very, very tough. And we end the season against Stoke City. Now, there's a lot to say about this fixture list. Now, with all of those fixtures gone through, let me know your thoughts on how you think the season's going to go down in the comments. I really do think that Derby County can stabilise themselves in mid-table. It'd be really nice to get some transfers through the door from Paul Warne, bringing in some players to suit this squad. Obviously, if you have not done so already, go and check out all my transfer target videos. I've kept up to date with every single player that we've been linked with by a reputable source. Now, I know some people aren't too keen on the videos, but they're some of the best performing videos on the channel, and I really do think that it's important for people to know what is going off with players and who they are, where they'd fit in the squad, because obviously you could mention a player's name and some people have no idea, so that is the point of those videos. We're all going to have a Q&A coming out over the next few days. There is a Google Forms link in the description, so if you have not dropped a question, go ahead and do that. You can drop it in the comment section if you want. Just put Q&A in brackets at the end and I'll make sure to get to your question and put it into the video. So that will be coming out over the next few weeks. We're going to be looking over the opening day, final day, Christmas fixtures for the whole of the Championship and League One, probably over the weekend, so make sure you're subscribed for that. If you have not done so already, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, like the video, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. But with that said, I'm going to let you get on with the rest of your day. We'll have a video out tomorrow talking about the kit release, so let me know what you think that's going to look like as well, but I'll catch you in my next video. Make sure to go and find me on TikTok, pictured here, and Twitter, pictured here. These are the places where I'll keep you all up to date with all my upcoming videos and my thoughts and feelings around the Formula 1 and football weekend.